Here's another question and a great idea for a video. I always like that. Remember, that is the main reason why I am answering questions on my channel, is to get ideas for videos. So if you have a video that, or you have a question or something where there is no video made of it, let me know, and I will see if I can accommodate you. And this one here was one I did not have made, and it was how you can remove a couple of lower windows so you can put a big sliding glass door in, or another door unit on a tall wall, something for a two-story building like this. So let's go ahead and remove the roof, and you can see here the standard framing, header supports, the support studs for the sill, and just kind of throwing it out, give you an idea. This is what we're going to be starting with. Now, the first thing we need to do will be to build some type of a supporting wall system. And this might be done with one wall. It might need multiple walls or some other type of bracing. Now, the first thing I want to point out is that if you just build an interior wall with a conventionally framed roof where you have 16-inch on center ceiling joists and 2-foot on center roof rafters, or even a different type of roofing system, then you might need to build a support system on the exterior. So here you can kind of see where this rafter isn't attached to something that we'd be able to support the wall with. So here we have our support wall, our existing wall, and the ceiling joist that is fastened to the roof rafter should support sufficiently. I say should, but again, this all depends upon the type of framing you're working with. But I just wanted to give you an idea. This right here for a roof system with engineered trusses might work just fine, because the trusses and the ceiling joists are the same, or basically part of the same unit. But for other types of roof framing, you might need to add some additional supports. And you can see here how we've built another supporting wall on the outside. And again, you might get away with just one of them. You might need to do a couple of them, or you might need to do everything that I'm showing you in this video. So every additional support you provide is just going to provide you with a little more insurance that the building isn't going to fall down. So here we would have a board on the ground, firmly attached to the ground, and then some support boards. And here we're using a couple of 2x4s and then attaching them with screws to the roof rafter on the one side, and then shaping the top so that it supports the roof rafter on the other side. And when you're saying, hey, wait a minute, how far out should I come? I would try to have this as close to the wall as you can, while giving you enough room to work and slide your new header in here. That's the main thing. When you build these walls or the wall systems, you're going to have to make sure, pre-plan everything, that everything is out of the way, so that you can, you're not going to need to tear it apart later. Now let's go ahead and space these a little closer together, just around the opening. I had them on the other rafters here, but again, I'm just throwing out some different suggestions on possible methods you can use. Definitely attach some type of a support board. This is going to prevent the boards from moving a little bit and make the wall a little stronger, or the support, I should say, a little stronger. And I have 2x4 in my examples. You can always use 2x6 or larger lumber if needed. And here we have, again, the multiple braces. Take a look at it from the other side. I made this wall a little shorter than I did in the other example, previous example. So again, these walls need to be spaced. Try to keep them as close as you can to the interior wall and the exterior wall. The farther out that they get, I don't know how far away you could actually build something like this to where it could be a problem. So I like to have them, if possible, within 6 inches from the wall. Now, if you build one on the inside, these braces might be able to go a little farther apart because you're using multiple supports. Hope that makes sense. Now, for those looking for a little more support, you could always install some type of a support beam between the walls, and the support beam it'll work out best, I should say, if you could actually get a 2x4 or two 2x4s, slide them in between the exterior finish, the stucco or siding, and the drywall. And if you can't fit them in this way, turn them on edge, rotate them 90 degrees, and see if you can get them in. Now, 1 is going to be fine. 2, of course, is going to be better. And you might have electrical wires in the way or something where you're not going to be able to do this. So again, this is just another suggestion, because this right here, if you have openings that are a little too far apart, is going to hold up or provide you with some more support to hold up the stucco and the drywall. If this opening is larger than 6 feet, which I'm sure it's going to be if this is what you're trying to do, you're going to have a lot of stucco or wall just hanging there, even with these support walls. These support walls are going to be holding up the roof, but you're not going to have much of anything holding up the wall that's just going to be kind of hanging there. And this is where this could get dangerous. So this is where something like this is going to provide you with additional support to prevent that from moving. And again, the stucco and the drywall might hold the wall up perfectly fine. You might not need something like this. So you can see where the upper studs that have slid in between the cavity and between the wall finish on the interior and exterior, and it's supported. Now, this does need to be high enough so that it's out of the way of the header, the new header that's going to be installed. And you can use a 4x4 or two 2x4s, whatever I had over here, two 2x4s, just kind of giving you a different idea. And then make sure that it is firmly attached to everything and it is not going to move. After everything has been securely braced off, you can start removing the wall parts and cutting the upper support studs. And now it is time to install the new header for your opening. Then you can go ahead and remove all of the supporting structures and walls. Now, one more thing I'd like to point out is that you could have electrical wires running in between here. That's probably almost going to be a guarantee, just something to think about. And you might need to relocate the anchor bolts or the bolts that are connecting the framing plate to the concrete. You might need to drill a hole and use some type of an epoxy system to install new anchor bolts if you do not have an anchor bolt within 12 inches. That's the normal code, to have one within 12 inches of a break. There's the header. Now, with the studs in here, you're not going to be able to get these out, or I should say it's going to be difficult to get them out. So just leave them in and then just install some more, a couple blocks underneath there to give you some additional support. And that's what it should look like, hopefully, the framing. You're going to be looking at it with drywall and stucco or siding, some type of wall coverings on them. But that is it for the video. Let me know if you have any questions about it, and hope it helps. Hope this gives you a few ideas on ways to do something like this. And keep in mind, this right here, depending on the width, the wider this gets, this is considered a major remodel. And if you don't really know a lot about framing, I would recommend hiring somebody to do something like this for you who does.